I'm Emily Brown, and this is Tucker. We were out to eat at a restaurant, and I lost my taste and smell. We went home, and my husband thought, we might have COVID, and he also had lost his taste and smell. And I was pregnant at the time, and we went and I got tested, and they said I had COVID. So a few days later, I couldn't breathe. I was laying down in bed asleep, and my husband woke me up and said, "You're breathing really weird, and we need to go to the hospital now." And we came to Erlanger. I arrived at Erlanger, and they brought out a wheelchair and an oxygen tank, and they admitted me into ICU that same day. And after that, I remember nothing. And then September 24th, they delivered my baby. I was in a coma already. They delivered my baby while I was on a ventilator, and I eventually had to have a trach. I had to be intubated twice, but because they thought I'd be fine breathing on my own, but I was starting to struggle to breathe, and they had to re-intubate me. As soon as he was born, they took him away from me, so he did not contract COVID. The only problem he actually had was he wouldn't eat from a bottle yet, which he's made up for now. But he had to have a feeding tube, and they took great care of him though while I was in a coma, because I didn't even know until he was a month old that I even had a baby. He was born at 32 weeks. They had to deliver him because obviously because I had COVID and I couldn't breathe. I mean, I would have probably died if they wouldn't have delivered him that early. But he weighed over 5 pounds, so he wasn't unhealthy at all. He was there for 6 weeks, and when he was finally able to eat on his own from a bottle, he got to come home with us. And he's been fine ever since. He hasn't had any issues. He's just growing. We received extremely great care here at Erlanger. There were so many doctors and nurses, and even some that I didn't remember. When I've come back, they knew me, knew who I was. I'm still seeing doctors from Erlanger for my lungs and such as things as this, but I still have a headache. I'm still suffering some long effects, I think, from having COVID. Yeah, if you're afraid, go to the hospital, because I wasn't going to go to the hospital myself, and my husband made me pretty much. And if he wouldn't have, I might not be here today. I would say to get the vaccine. A lot of people think this is no big deal, but you never know. I mean, I'm 30 years old and it can happen to anybody, and I strongly believe that everybody should get the vaccine.